So this is not my usual place to record. I'm actually at a Verbo, and I was doing a lot of schoolwork, so I'm home and there's nobody else here because I was behind on schoolwork and they're at like aquariums and stuff and it kind of sucks. But it also doesn't suck because I was able to have just some alone time reflecting on what I want to do with my creative self, what I want to do with YouTube channel, what I want to do with music, and also I haven't talked about it yet on the channel, but what I want to do with writing books. And I'm just gonna start every little bit posting just an update on where I am creatively so that everyone can stay up to date with who I am in the creative industry and how they can be looking for where they can be looking for me. And I was thinking a lot about when I'm gonna put out the album because starting like last year, I had plans for an album, and as of a few weeks ago, I have all but one song written off of the album. I teased the set list in a past video of mine, and I still haven't gotten any of the songs recorded. But Cameron, you may say, three of your songs are already out. I'm going to take those down. It's as simple as that. I actually did all three of those songs from scratch in one day, and it shows. No, I just used like the DistroKid or whatever it was free mastering. No, wait, it was BandLab. Yeah, I used the BandLab free mastering, and it shows that I hardly put any effort into it at all. And I don't think I've said this yet, but I am planning on releasing the album on July 31st. It's kind of funny, though. I actually was planning to release this before I knew how much it took to record, and before I realized how busy I was. I had planned to release it July 31st of last year, and then obviously that didn't happen. And I've been busy with lots and lots of different stuff. So it kind of sucks that I'm not able to give you guys as much content as I wished. But it's also like God has me in a place of busyness and lots of responsibilities with my family, lots of responsibilities with my trail life troop and stuff like that. And He's teaching me the importance of hard work. Are you serious right now? And the importance of just sitting and doing hard work. Because I'm actually 10 lessons behind in math, and each lesson takes about 30-45 minutes. And I sat down and did 10 of them today. Not fun at all. And so many reasons why I didn't want to do it, but then I just sat down and did it. And I think with something that I don't enjoy, I do not enjoy doing math. I actually enjoyed having music on or podcasts on in the background, and I enjoyed getting stuff done. It wasn't the math itself, it was the fact that I was checking something off of my list for today. And how much more so will I enjoy recording and how much more will I enjoy writing the books that I plan to write. And while I was doing my math work, I was actually listening to a John Bellion podcast. It was on the George Janko show, and it really inspired me and also changed my opinion on John a lot. So, first, like the opinion that I have on John, I've always seen him as like this guy who claims God but doesn't really obey it. But then on the interview, I heard him talking, especially about how he's been more recently focusing on God and some of the metaphors and some of the stories that he's told, and how he's kind of like the light in the dark for the music industry has really changed how I think he is, and also changed how I think about just people who claim Christ but were raised differently. And then it inspired me because he was talking about how his son drew him something pretty horrible. And then, but because it's his son, he thought it was amazing. And in the same way, how anything we do is nothing compared to God, but God still loves it. It just got me thinking that if I can just make content and nobody sees it besides God and like maybe like my 20-person audience, but if I make that and then God uses that to give me an audience so that, let's say, I can play a show in three major cities and sell out a decently sized arena, not an arena, maybe a venue, and then I get to share the gospel with those people, strengthen the faith of those people through God. I just it really encourages me to think of how much a small action from me putting out 1 minute of a 1 minute video or even putting out one song once I start actually making music, or I have a plan to write a 400-page book called Reconquista Christi, and it's how to reclaim Christianity and how to reclaim the church and what an impact that's going to make to everything and everyone who who hears me. And it's probably not even maybe that many people. Like I probably won't even break even on the book sales, and I probably won't even break even on the time that I put in to music. But just the one person who sees me and is encouraged, and then goes to encourage three people, and then those three people encourage two people, and then so on, and then eventually we get to a point where 1,000 or so people are affected, slightly by extension, by a singular small action by me. That's just insane to think about. And then also thinking about just the way that I look at doing work. Because John was talking about how he works for like 7 hours a day on producing music for other people. That sounds half fun because I have a passion for music, and that would be so fun, much more fun than school and chores and stuff. But on the other hand, it sounds exhausting and it sounds draining. But I think that's what makes passion so beautiful is that it drains us. But because we give our energy and our time freely, that's what makes our passions important, is because we have a passion for them. And I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm hoping that it ends in like 3 minutes or so, so that I can get to do more schoolwork. But if I just talk here for 30 minutes until my mom gets home, then I hope that that 30 minutes will affect someone. And I hope that that 30 minutes will be a stepping point towards 30 minutes talking to a screen, to a camera without a mic, without the audio interface there, and without like any editing on the video at all. I can't imagine how much more I could get if I just dedicated 30 minutes a day to recording music, writing books, or doing YouTube videos. And I actually was a few nights ago looking at what it would take for me to write all the books that I plan to write by the time I graduate high school. And I came to the conclusion that right now, I can't finish a 200-page storybook in 3 days. But if I dedicate an hour of a day, I did the math, and that would be about 3 pages a day if it's a good day, and if I have the creative juices flowing. And then But because I can't put in an hour a day just to book writing, I have schoolwork, I have responsibilities, I have chores, but kind of splitting it into a daily 30, 45, even 15 minutes, that will add up over time. And before I know it, because it just felt like it was last summer, and now it's almost a year since then. So much has changed, and before I know it, I'm gonna have a book done, I'm gonna have my album done, I'm gonna be a sophomore, and I can't imagine what life's gonna be like once I'm able to be free of the burden of high school and maybe even have a family, but just being able to do what I love as work, being able to pour out my life for people, whether it be through music writing, book writing, working on the farm that I want to build when I grow up. doing carpentry, which is another thing I want to pursue. I just want to be able to give my life and my time and my energy for what God has me to, whether that be spreading the gospel with people who haven't heard it, reinforcing the beliefs and the faiths of the people who already have heard the gospel message, or even just three people, my wife and maybe if I have two children, my two children. Maybe that's my mission field. Maybe that is all I've been assigned to. But giving my all for that, that's what I want to do. That is what I feel led to. And I'm probably going to look back on this video in like 5 years and be like, wow, that's so bad. He doesn't even have a mic. He doesn't even edit it. Like the audio quality, the video quality is terrible. The dedication to the video, though, it shows because I could have continued watching the interviews that I was watching while doing math with John Bellion and Cliff Kneekly and all those people. But instead, I decided to take a stop and stop consuming and start creating, which I think is the most important thing, where we need to realize when to stop reading, stop listening, stop watching, and start doing. Kind of like how I view Bible study. Because, like, we can spend our entire lives sitting in a circle talking about the specific meaning of, like, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, like, New Testament books, Old Testament prophecies. But if we never go out and actually share the word and live it out, it doesn't mean anything. So we can be reading, like, I'm in the middle of reading the Stormlight Archive and I'm loving it. But if I never turn around and say, how can I turn enjoying writing a book into, I don't know, enjoying reading a book into possibly writing a book or connecting with someone over the Stormlight Archive and then saying, they have a God in the Stormlight Archive, but in real life we have a God and he loves you and he died for you. How can I turn something that wasn't meant for good? I'm not saying that the Stormlight Archive was meant for bad, but something that wasn't meant for good, how can I turn that into something good and remind myself that it's not me doing the turning bad into good, it's God. Because God turned me, a sinner, into someone who could do the work of the kingdom, even though I am still stuck on Romans 7, being, I do not do the good that I want to do, but I do the evil that I do not want to do. It's the whole thing. And then, this was literally just supposed to be an update of where I am on the music. I don't know where this went, or how I'm going to end this video. I don't even want to end this video, even though there's no one home. I'm an extrovert, and I love talking. And even though I'm talking to literally like a reflection of myself on a screen on my computer with lots of bluey stickers and like the record player behind me and that super cool light fixture, I'm just reminded of how blessed I am to be able to have these things. How blessed I am to be on vacation on spring break with rest, even though I'm doing schoolwork, even though I'm sitting at a Verbo while my family's looking at aquariums and museums, how blessed I am to be able to still have these blessings and how how blessed I am to even have the good mindset where I'm like, I'm not focusing on, oh, I'm missing out on an aquarium, oh, I'm missing out on this, that, and this. I'm focusing on I'm able to catch up on my schoolwork. I'm able to have some time where it's literally just me, my schoolwork, and God, and being able to have some time where I can just reset and kind of live in not in live in order, live outside of chaos because even though I love my family, they are chaotic. And there's so many things that I wish I could be able to do more often, like be able to listen to a podcast more often, maybe even be able to listen to music more often, like just alone time with not even doing nothing. Like, I do value being alone and doing nothing, but also being alone and doing something. The power that that holds for me is, it's crazy because, like I said earlier, I'm an extrovert. I get energy from being around people. Like, if I had to go 10 hours without being around someone, I'd be super drained. But being alone, it also is a way to, like, recharge because unless you don't believe, when you're alone, you're actually never alone because you have Jesus inside your heart and you can always talk to God. And like in a way, if you believe, you are never alone. Like even if that like no matter if you're in a crowd of 10,000 people at a arena or with yourself on the top of a mountain with no one around you for miles, you're always with God. I didn't know why this turned into a sermon. And gonna transition into more of a what's coming from me in the soon weeks and months is so I'm probably going to be getting a camera pretty soon so that the quality of this music literally not the quality of the music, pardon me, the quality of the of the footage that you see is going to go way up. I've been saving a lot of money for a while, looking for ways to make money, and once I can finally get my hands on a good camera, uh, YouTube isn't going to be ready. And then I'm going to be going on a trip to Alaska in July, actually. So I'm definitely going to be recording that with my new camera and making sure I have as much footage, as much quality footage as possible. Probably putting it together in like a travel vlog montage style video. Maybe even, actually, no, that's a good idea. Putting some of the footage and putting that as like a visualizer for my music. Yeah, I'm just musing now. And another thing that you'll see from me is more music reviews, trying to build up the community of viewers of people who maybe share my opinion on artistry and music, maybe some people who don't. And so I recorded a video a few weeks ago, and I'm still working on editing it because I have so many bad takes. Is reviewing the Connor Price concert, and I'm probably gonna do something where one of my first actual good videos back in the day was making a top 10 albums of all time list. I'm probably going to try to do that every year, but I can't just say, here's 10 albums in a specific order, here's why I like them, here's a rating. Like, I listened to way too much music to be able to do that. So, I'm planning on doing something where I find 100 albums, and then I'm able to eliminate down to 10 over the course of like 5 videos, and then the last video will be putting them in an order where I feel like this is which music I feel like best defines my music taste at the time. It's probably going to be a bunch of all over the place. It's going to be like AJR, NF, John Bellion, all over the place. Also, once Father Figure by John Bellion comes out, I have a feeling I'm going to listen the heck out of it. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely becoming more of a me talking to the camera just for the purpose of talking because I literally haven't said a word for the past 7 hours. So hopefully I'm getting enough words out. And then thank you for watching with me. If you've made it the full 18 and a half minutes through this video of me ranting, I hope that you found at least one sentence in this almost 19-minute video informative or inspiring. And I hope all of you a good day. And I'm actually going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to pray to close the video. Dear God, I pray that this video was able to do what you would have it do. Even though I meant for this video to be a 4-minute long where I am in music, you turned it into a short, maybe not short, 20-minute testimony on where I am and how you're using me and how you're changing me. And I pray that everyone who believes would be able to be encouraged by this, and everyone who doesn't believe who sees this would say, oh, he has a higher power that he obeys. I want something like that. And I pray that you'd be able to make sure I can learn from the math problems that I did today, and that I'm just able to have a platform, the platform that you'll give me to be able to share your word. And I pray that I'd be able to beat my 2 friends who I'm competing with in a YouTube channel challenge to 100, to 1,000 subscribers. In your name I pray, amen.